You know how I knew that working a job for the rest of my life wasn't for me? Because of the shit that was normalized. Like, you gotta think, I had jobs. I had a job. I kept a job on and off since I was like, I want to say 14. My first job was at McDonald's. I went to Job Corps. I came back, got a job at the same McDonald's. You know what I mean? I kept a good rapport with them. They knew me. The store manager was still in charge, like of that store. So, you know, it was some love. Like, I mean, they showed me some love. But I can't really account for all of those years of me keeping a job on and off, because my mind wasn't developed. So, you know, I looked at a job for what most people look at a job for: money, a paycheck. I ain't really look at all of the small details and the analytics and shit, you know what I'm saying, of how jobs are, until I got to this company that I most recently was at for 8 years, right? But what I realized, how I realized that once I started to realize that it wasn't for me, was when, like, I just wasn't okay. And you know what's crazy? I was supposed to be in that setting, not no other setting. Like, not no other kind of job, not around a gig that I felt like comfortable, or, you know, I felt like good in my role. Like, I was supposed to be in a warehouse, hard labor, countless hours around people that lost touch with reality, lost touch with life. I was supposed to be around that shit. But I just knew it was never me. Like, I was like, the shit that people normalized and was okay with, I just couldn't believe it. Like I just knew, like, that ain't right, bro. Like, how can a motherfucker accept? But again, I would. It was a shock for me. It was like it was a shock for me to be around people that had like allowed themselves to, like, let go of, like, who they are, or who they once was. And I just, in 8 years, I never ever could accept that. So much so, like, I felt outcasted. Like, when I used to call out a lot, or when I would prioritize things, I felt bad. Like, I felt like me being human was, like, almost frowned upon. You know what I mean? I felt the energy when I came back to work if I called out, like, as if I let them niggas down, or, you know what I mean? Like, I left them hanging, or, like, why you call out? Like, what made you call out? Is everything okay? Like as if though, like, something was wrong for me calling out. Like, not like me calling out because life happens. More so, like, are you okay? Like, you know, we don't, like, people don't really call out, bro. Like that type of vibe, like, made me feel like I don't know. That shit was crazy. But I say all that to say, like, times like this also reminded me, like, bro, this ain't for you. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think we was here. I don't think we was brought here to work at all. Like, I don't think we was brought here to pay to live, to pay to eat. Like, I don't think we was, like, created for that. Like, I don't think we was created to pay rent, pay mortgage, pay for food. Like, it's all God given. Like, this land, this earth we on, this is, like, it's ours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, it was provided to us. Like, I don't think we supposed to pay for none of this shit. But even, like, things like now, you see, it's the holiday today, Thanksgiving, and I no longer celebrate the holidays, but I used to. You know what I mean? Keep it funky. I used to celebrate all the holidays. You know what I mean? Before I started to kind of shift away. And we, you know, another thing that I was just like, I can't get used to is, like, we wasn't able to be with our families. Like, if you worked a certain shift, and most of us work a certain shift, 4 to 12, 10 to 6, 8 to 6, some type of overnight shift, you would have been off yesterday, the 27th. And you would be coming in today, the 28th, which is the actual holiday, the actual day of Thanksgiving, where people are with their family, people drinking, people eating, people relaxing, watching football. But yeah, it was like those things that allowed me to see, like, that's why I'm so like grateful that, I was able to receive whatever it is that I received to allow me to understand that I wasn't brought here to work no job like for the rest of my life and then just transition. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Even to be more transparent, like I'm in the middle of getting a new job now. Nothing crazy, just something to like hold it down because I had to learn on this journey. Like, my kids are me, so I don't gotta feel like a sucker. I don't gotta feel bad for reintroducing myself into like that world of like working a job, you know what I mean? And even talking to my grandma, she gave me some words of encouragement, like it don't gotta be for forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, who said that this has to be forever? But you do have responsibilities as a man, as a father, and you do have things that you have to take care of, you know what I mean, for yourself even, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like a loser at first, like, damn, man, like, I gotta go back out here. And my plan was like, when I left this job that I was actually making decent money at, I said I never was gonna spend a block on that, but I'm spending the block, and it's cool. But I know that this isn't my calling. Like, this isn't the path that I'm supposed to be on for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Just a lot of things that I seen and just didn't understand. A lot of people put work before their families and put work before themselves, and that's still just really, really crazy to me. Something I never could do. I feel for the guys, I feel for the women that's going to work tonight, you know what I'm saying, that was off on the 27th, but now you're going into work the night of the holiday, so you can't, spend time with your family like you may want to. You might want to have a drink, you might want to unwind a little bit, you know what I mean? Life been hard, your week been hard, your month been hard, your year been hard, you know what I mean? It's your time to be with your loved ones, and you got to go into work tonight. I remember going to work, everybody cooking out, 4th of July, we get off the 3rd of July, and we got to go into work the 4th of July day. Like, everybody ain't cooking out, like everybody ain't having block parties and drinking and having a good old time. Back when I used to indulge in that stuff and I enjoyed that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not on the journey that I'm on that's like, oh, all right, I don't drink, or okay, I don't do this, or I don't party. People still enjoy the things that they do, and like, when you have a certain job and you work in a certain shift, it's just a reminder, man, to like get out if you can, you know what I'm saying? If you are having those thoughts of like reassurance, or not even reassurance, but just like you second guessing, like, damn, I don't belong here, you're probably right. And that's how I felt, man. Like, I felt like that. Like, damn, I really ain't supposed to work no job. Like, I ain't supposed to do this, because it just never felt right. It never felt right being that kind of like being sacrificial like that. You know what I mean? When it came to my kids and my family, and telling myself that I was doing the right thing, or telling myself that this is what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, trying to force myself to think like that. Like, yo, man, this what it come with. It is what it is. Gotta pay bills, right? Like, gotta do this, gotta do that. But deep down inside, feeling sad, feeling mad. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like just, a bunch of things. Because I'm in this position in life where I gotta fucking go to work, or I gotta work this job, or else, you know what I mean? Or if I call out, like, I'm gonna get in trouble for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that shit so much. Like, I think I worked 6 of those years out of 8 of my years being there, and just, I missed out on a lot of shit, and just try to cope and tell myself it's cool. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You a man, bro. You work the job, you sacrifice. It's cool. You get a plate when you get home, or you get a plate, you know what I'm saying? Like, That shit, man. That I feel bad for the ones that, and it's, I'm sure it's plenty of motherfuckers working that kind of shift, that graveyard shift, or that 4 to 12, 2 to 10, 1 to 9. You know what I mean? 12 to 10, whatever you want, 4 10s, you know, whatever. Like, that shit rough, man. That shit rough. You know what I mean? Imagine that, waking up on Christmas. You know what I mean? If you celebrate Christmas, your kids opening gifts and everybody in their pajamas and everybody in the spirit and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool that, yeah, gifts get opened earlier in the mornings and shit like that, but you still just might want to be home with your family all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I know people that's taking a chance right now today that live in my house. Like, a person like my kid's mom, she like, fuck it, I gotta work tomorrow, but I'm getting fucked up tonight. And I'll deal with that tomorrow. Like, I'll go in that bitch with a hangover, but at least she gets the luxury of sleeping in her bed, sleeping in her house overnight. And if she wake up with a hangover, she gotta get a coffee, that's her business. But imagine that, man, going into work the night of the holiday. Like, even New Year's, same shit. You go in the night of, like, I think we used to get off New Year's Eve. Yeah, but don't get too fucked up, because you gotta go in that bitch the next day. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, I was just thinking about that on this day. Like, damn, man, you know, being as though today is the holiday, I just remember that. Like, you know what I mean? That shit crazy.